Hey guys, welcome back to another deck profile. This time we got second place of Armed Dragon Thunder. Should have gone first, but the person who ended up getting first is a wiener and played ninjas. And this deck literally can't beat a single Book of Moon or Effect Veiler, and he turns out to be playing both of those types of cards. So it was a lost cause from the start. But I wanted to go ahead and profile this because this deck is really cool. My round one was against Sprite, my buddy right over here. He said this deck was bullshit, so that means this deck's got to be good. I don't remember who I played round two. Round three was against Sword Soul, and I almost lost, but he got greedy on a play, so I was able to win because of that. And then round four, like I said, was against Ninjas. And that deck may not be very good, but let me tell you, it's got a really good Armed Dragon matchup. So
what a matchup!
Yeah, I mean, you got to be afraid of Armed Dragons. This deck's crazy. This is a blind second deck with the option to go first in the side, like to mix up your opponent. Because usually when you win the die roll, you call going second, and they're like, oh, well, they're going to make me go first again. And then like they have all their bad cards. So that's the only way this deck can really win. So 3 Artillery Catapults. This card for cost tributes any monster, and it could be itself. And special summons a Gaia or a level 5 dragon, which Armed Dragon level 5 is the best one because it gets you closer to 10, obviously. Like, you don't want to start at 3 if you can avoid it. 3 Pile Arm. This card is crazy. So this is a way to trigger the effects twice in a turn because you'll be able to dump 2 different names. You'll be able to dump one in hand to summon him and then dump one from deck as costs, which is how the little Armed Dragons trigger. It's also really cool with the OTK because you can give any monster just a ridiculous amount of attack, and this is the main kill button, so you attack 3 times with this thing having like 5,000 attack. It's the easiest way to just kill people. But if you're really good at the game like I am, you'll extravagance away all 3 copies of Armed or Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon.
That's what you get for getting my playset.
I didn't get those off you. What are you talking about? Oh, the extravagance, yeah, I did. So for the Thunder Armed Dragons, we got 3 level 3. And even though I said you don't really want to start on this, you really don't, but you still have to play 3, which is really unfortunate. 3 level 5. This is the best one because this gets you all of your extension pieces. 3/7 is also one of the better ones, but only because it gets you to 10, and then 1/10. I would love to play 2 or 3 of this card, but man, does it suck to draw. And let me tell you, he was my best friend today. He really liked being in my hand. He'd cheer me on. I mean, look at him. He's literally cheering me on. And then 1 Tempest. You can search this in combo, which is really nice. You have a free just level 7 to keep coming back. It's really cool that being able to search this and then pitch another Armed Dragon to search another Armed Dragon and then get an Armed Dragon off of that one. Like, it's crazy how much searching you can do to do nothing with it. It's incredible. So this is, these are the spells now. We got 3 Armed Dragon Flash. This is E-Telly for the level 3. This is the way you make any cards out of your extra deck, because otherwise you will not be touching your extra deck except for Extravagance. And then 1 Armed Dragon Lightning. This card is actually pretty ridiculously good, honestly. So the first effect is you get to target an Armed Dragon and give it 100 attack times its level, which isn't too relevant, but for the big guy, level 10, if you can stick for like 4 or 5 turns somehow, then you can have his 10,000 attack effect where he destroys the field every turn. And then the second effect is the one that matters. You can target an Armed Dragon you control, then you add any Armed Dragon with the equal or less level from your grave to your hand, which is ridiculously good. The biggest issue with this card in general is like they don't have enough cards that keep you going, and this is like one of the only cards that can help you keep going. But you can't play multiple because it's hard once per turn for either effect. Otherwise, I would love to play more than 1. 3 of the card that did really well in certain matchups, and then round 4 drew 3 in my opening hand. Return of the Dragon Lords. Non-once return monster reborn that also protects the board. The protection effect isn't too relevant because the continuous spell also gives it to you. So you have a lot of ways just to protect your board from destruction or battle. This doesn't protect by battle, but your guys are usually way bigger than anything your opponent makes anyway. But this card is pretty sick. Summoning back like Pile Arms and then reusing their effects is really good, obviously. 3 Extravagance. Honestly, the fear of Prosperity not being able to kill my opponent because I have their life points was like the reason I played this. But let me tell you something. This card sucks, okay? Like, this card is awful. I cannot tell you how many times that I activated this card just to draw something like Armed Dragon level 3 and like some dud spell like Flash. Where like if I could have just dug and got exactly what I needed, it obviously would have been better. Like and the fact that you, like the start at main phase 1 is the only time you can activate this makes it just so much worse too, because like if it gets negated, you can't just activate another one. So it's just like this card is terrible. I would rather not kill my opponent because I didn't do very much of that to begin with anyway on the first turn, and just play Prosperity. So I would highly recommend cutting these. These are yeah, get out of here. 3 Lightning Storm. This should have been Regeki in all honesty. I don't know. Like, I didn't play any back row decks, which is where this would shine, because I'm also playing the copy of Duster. But I wanted the versatility, and I certainly should have played Regeki, because all my matchups today would have been rewarded for playing Regeki over this. And then I'm playing a Crossout Designator package, because this deck is bad, and I have to. So 3 Crossout, 3 Ash, 2 Nibs, and an Imperm. So I would have loved to diversify it a little bit more, but I wanted to primarily just play these because they are the most impactful in the current format, and against this deck in particular. Imperm is pretty good against this deck as well, but I'm not okay with drawing it because it's not a monster that could pitch to the Armed Dragon, so I never really explained what they did for people who didn't know, so I should probably have done that. So I'm going to pull these guys out. So all the Armed Dragons up to 10, so 7 and lower, have the effect that you can level up themselves by sending any monster from your hand to the grave and sending him as an effect on resolution. So the idea is like you go from 3, send a big guy, and you just keep floating into the other ones. So I wanted to play the most impactful monster designator targets because at worst, if they're in my hand, they're obviously hand traps, but if I don't need to use them, they can be sent as food for the level ups. I should have diversified it still more, though. I should have played, like, you know, a Veiler or a Droll, you know, just made it better. But I wanted the Ashes because we do have a lot of branded players, and it's the best one to just draw. And that's it for the main. 40 cards. For the extra, so another reason I don't want to play Prosperity or play Extravagance anymore is because, like, you have to max out on these in the Extrav deck. So this is your OTK button. Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon does nothing, so just pretend he's like a really big Garnet. But this is the OTK, so when he is placed on top of an Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, and or any rank 7, but this is the only one we can do for this deck, he can attack 3 times. So the idea is, like, in your combo, you get to this, you make him, and then you use Pile Driver, or Pile Armed Dragon, sorry. And his effect is you can, as cost, dump an Armed Dragon from the deck and target a monster you control. And that monster gains attack equal to the monster you sent times 300, but it can only that can be the only monster that attacks. So you can theoretically make this if you dump the level 10, 8 or 6,000 attack, so you can attack for 18,000. So that's where Prosperity wouldn't really matter, because you don't really need Armed Dragon level 10 if you're killing him. So definitely want to play Prosperity, because that's still 9,000 damage, and if not, you'll probably have other ways to just like attack 3 times with it and then still have other bodies on board. The card that you make going first is the 3 Seals. Again, we're on Extravagant, so if we were playing Prosperity, probably would trim down, make it more generic. But this is your best turn 1 play. So if you're just a Dragon Link deck that just incrementally loses your own resources to make this, then you can tell that the deck's very powerful and it doesn't need any more support. Flare Metal for time, Big Eye because you can make it pretty easily. It was pretty cool summoning Tempest and making Big Eye with this. It kind of brought me back to 2013, and then I got flashbacks. 1 Arise Heart. You can actually make this and catch people off guard because, like, macro is still very powerful. But you can. The main thing is just to steal Ira. The 1 Zeus, 1 Donner, just because nothing locked you into anything. So, like, you can freely make this just like as a way to out stuff. And then Baron, because sometimes you draw Ash, and on Pile Driver, which is what I'm going to keep calling it from now on. And this is the best thing you can do with it. So, yeah. I never made any of these cards. So they could have been a bunch of Blue Eyes monsters. For the side, 2 Gamma Steel and the 3rd Nib. There are certain matchups, even though you're a blind second deck, that you want to go second in, just because like their board is pretty mediocre, and then you can crack it easily. So these are just extra ways to do it. The spicy card I never got to play today because nobody was playing freaking Trap Deck was Hatrunade. This card is awesome, but also terrible. I didn't realize it said return all sets. I thought it was just like all spells and traps for some reason. So like my mind turned off at like they just like flip the cards and then like they don't get bounced. So that made it a lot worse, but I never sided it, so it didn't matter. In theory, this card would be really good. I didn't want to play like Cosmic because of life points. It's really hard to kill people through interruptions. You can't actually play Twin Twisters because you neg 1 yourself in your combo the entire way through, so you can't actually do that. And I'm already maining Lightning Storm and Duster, so this is like the next best thing to play. 3 Solemn Judgment, 3 Skill Drain, and then 3D Barriers, like going first cards. So nobody made me do it here, but the 2 or 3 games I play tested online with a buddy, every time I would win the coin flip or the die roll, and he forced me to go first. These are the 9 cards I brought in. I didn't bring in D-Barrier very often because it underperforms generically in this format at the moment. But these 6 were always crazy, especially Skill Drain, because you just summon Big Idiot, and Big Idiot's got 3,000 attack. So you have a Blue Eyes that you get for free, and then you can just keep summoning more Blue Eyes White Dragons and still activate their effects to continue cycling through your deck because of their costs. So Skill Drain was nice, and Judgment is just it's honestly there because I couldn't find my anti-spells. I know in my last profile I said I couldn't find other cards, and that's why I played certain ones, and that's the same reason we played Judgment today, because I'm organized. And that is it for the deck. This deck was insanely fun to play today. And if you want a really fun budget, casual deck to just mess around with, things like Heart of the Underdogs, that's the main reason I bought this, because I want to start pushing that format for my locals. This is one of the better ways, to just do bad things and feel good about it. And that's basically what I did. Every time I summon Armed Dragon level 3, or Armed Dragon Thunder level 3, my opponent's like, what the hell is this? It just felt great. So that's it for the profile. Thanks for watching. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll have a couple of feature matches. I didn't get to all of them today. I couldn't get round 1 because we started late because of certain people always showing up late. Names won't be brought up, but it's definitely nobody's fault but his. Thanks for watching, and peace YouTube.